Just waiting for my tester to like pop up and confirm, but I believe we are.
Okay.
Awesome. Lana's in the house. Eddie, what is going on, Eddie? Ben Steeg. I know I probably did not say that right. Let me refresh this.
Let's see, Eddie. We have Diang. We have Bahnsteig from Germany.
Wow, you did a lot better than I could with that, man. Awesome. We are live. I see it. It is confirmed. What is going on, everybody? What is up? It's awesome to see everybody already here inside of the chat. What's going on, Lana? Croco Block in the house. Awesome. Eddie, always good to see you, man. Judane. Bonsa, yeah. Bonsa. Okay, I got it. And Carlton, what's going on, Carlton? How's everybody doing? All right, so we're just going to dive right in. I'm pretty sure you guys already know who this is, but we got to introduce you. I'm really excited to have you on, Reno. It's always great to connect with you, but I just feel like the vibe is going to be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to this stream. Well, let's kick it off. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. So hi everyone. My name is Reno, and I come from the Netherlands. I'm also a web designer. I care a lot about the details, just like Jeffrey, and I can really appreciate good design, good UX, and I also make YouTube videos. I just passed the 5 years on this YouTube channel, so that's pretty cool.
Nice. Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
My channel mainly got big through making Elementor videos. I think I joined YouTube at the moment Elementor was also becoming really popular. And I tried to make very good tutorials on it, and it paid off. And on the side, I did my clients. I'm very passionate. I have way too much going on in my professional life, and but I cannot. I have a hard time saying no to things that are fun and cool, like doing live streams. I wanted to do live streams myself as well, so I'm trying to get some experience because Jeffrey has more experience than me in this. But it's also just fun, connect with the community, and I hope to see some of the people that I know in the comments. I already see one person that I know personally, which is Lana from Crocoblock, plugin that I really love. I hope to connect also with some of the viewers, and of course have an awesome conversation.
Yeah, man. Dude, it is cracking in here, man. We got Mark up in here. We got Nicholas. Nicholas, he's always somebody you could depend on, going to come in and drop some good value always. Man, yeah, dude, I'm so glad that you came on and you're doing this. I know doing live streams is it's something completely different, but then being able to connect with the community and to people out there, it's always been something special. And man, I have a feeling this is going to be buzzing right here. So we're going to keep it open. I definitely want to hear from everybody. If you have questions, all right, if you got questions, put a hashtag in front of your question. So when we scroll through the chat, we could find it and make sure that we could get to it, because we want to keep this as an open space where everybody gets a chance, could be heard, but at the same time we got a really good topic, because you and I, we relate in a certain way where we're both running our web businesses remote. We're both living in Southeast Asia. Why don't you start off telling us about your journey? Do you consider yourself a digital nomad, by the way, or is that term too cheesy to put on, But yeah, just let us
Yeah.
know where you're at right now, what you're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely a cheesy term, and I didn't I didn't wanted to become a digital nomad, but I guess I am right now because I'm not living in my home country right now. This year, most of the year, I'm not in the Netherlands where I live. I am now in Indonesia, in Bali. So yeah, and I work remotely, and I work for a company here. I have my own business with my laptop. So yeah, officially I am one. But I didn't set out to be. It just rolled into my life somehow. Like, okay, so here was the situation. I was at yeah, in my own country. I was going to some word camps. The first word camp I went to was in Portugal. I fell in love with it because that's the place where the whole WordPress community comes together physically, and I felt really at home. And because I've been working in WordPress for so long, and finally, you could meet the people, look people in the eye that you've been working with, and I loved it so much. And then WordCamp Asia was the first one that came around. And I was like, yeah, am I going to Asia? I've never been outside of Europe. Like this is a bit like scary because my family doesn't really travel. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. And at that point, I was pretty burned out, really tired. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to WordCamp. It was in Bangkok, and then I'm gonna extend it for like 5 weeks, going to Bali, or 4 weeks. But I still had my company, my employees in my office in the Netherlands. So that was not really living remote because I still had to manage the team. But when I was in Bali, I just felt this sense of freedom, and you meet other people, and I just felt like the life I had been living was limiting, and was also not there was not a lot of variation to it. um and in Bali, the lifestyle was just different. Like, you could, in the morning, you could go to a coffee place somewhere, and then work a little bit over here, and then have some fun, go to the gym, and then work a little bit more, and then in the evening go somewhere because the weather is always nice. And it just didn't felt so um, boxy living. Like in Europe, it feels a lot like you're living in a box. You're in your office, then you're in your car, because we don't really use scooters that much. um, and that's a difference. That already is a, is a difference, because you're in your car, and then you go home, and then you watch your TV, your box, because it's cold outside most of the year. So you don't want to be outside, and then it just becomes this very, yeah, I would just call it the box lifestyle. You just go from box to
Yeah.
box. um,
It
yeah,
was when I came back from my backpacking journey, trying to
mm,
figure out what I wanted to do
yeah,
just in life. It was when I was starting to consider going back to my old job and to that old box routine life. As
mm.
soon as I started really contemplating that, that's when I bought my one-way ticket. To out here. I'm like, I was like, I just started playing the tape forward. For you though, when you made the change and you did the move, what was
Yeah.
that process like?
Yeah, there's a lot. It's not just the lifestyle. It was also for me a whole process of simplifying my life. I was very, yeah. I've always struggled. I think since I started my first business, which is like 8-9 years ago. I've always struggled with like keeping things manageable. I always want too much in life, basically. And 2-3 years ago, when I was first going to Bali, I hit like a bottom point, a rock bottom point in my life, where I was just so there were so many things going on. I had to, yeah, you have this saying that you have to keep up a lot of balls in the air. I don't know exactly how it goes, but that's how it felt. Like, there was just so much going on. So I was in this mindset that simplifying was the solution for my life. And I said to myself, I'm going to simplify until I feel better again, because I was not feeling well. I was super unproductive, um, because my energy was just gone. Like I didn't have like a light burnout. It was dark. It was deep, and I could only make like one video every 2 months. There was, yeah, a period where that happened, and so simplifying was it. And then I came to Bali, and I was like, wait, this is simple. It's there are not that many systems. Like, Europe is very systemized, and there are many benefits to that. That, because, for example, the healthcare system is 100 times better than what it is here, or the roads. We just, before the stream, we talked a little bit about how bad the roads are in Bali and in Thailand. Like those kind of things, you don't see that in Europe, right? Um, I mean, not in West Europe, at least. And then I came here, but somehow the roads are bad and the healthcare system is not so good. But there was just that whole pressure of everything being systemized was just gone. It was just simple. Things were just more simple. Not so many rules. And that to me, that connected so well with the desire to simplify after I had overcommitted myself so much in life. Then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go here. And then I also met a girl in Bali, which I fell in love with. And that, of course, then you have an extra reason to not be home.
Big extra reason.
A
Yeah.
big extra reason. So it was just a few things that that were falling into place. Yeah, I wanted to travel as well. That was also a dream. I don't travel that much. I mean, I mostly stay in one place. I'm not traveling constantly, but I'm not at home. So yeah, you can call it traveling. So yeah,
That
that's
that
yeah.
yeah, that burnout stage, man, I've been there, and I think it's something that I know it could be talking about lightly, but when it gets real, man, when there's some really high levels of burnout that that are very severe, and I know,
Yeah.
like, when we met inside work camp, we related a lot, like I was
Yep.
going through that in my life, and we just we related so much on that. Did you feel like you had to make videos, and did it feel like you have to, you're supposed to, and it just
Mhm.
adds to it, like the pressure and with everything else? Was it something like that, or uh you know yeah, what was it like, man?
Yeah, so it's in that moment it was a mix. It's never that I luckily I never reached a point where I felt like it was only a must. I've always had a deep passion for video creation. Before I had this English channel, I already had a Dutch channel for like 7 years. I started actually in 2012 already. The first 4 or 5 years I made videos, there was not even a way to get paid. I didn't even get paid. I was just passionate about it. And so that's still the case. Um, but the problem was that I had 4 employees. And then my costs were a lot, like a lot. And so that made me, yeah, that forced me to keep making videos and to keep selling websites in order to simply pay for the bills. So luckily, I've had a very deep passion for what I do, and so I never felt like I had to do it. But for to pay the bills, yes. So that was also for me a big reason to simplify, because I was like, I don't want to make YouTube videos just to pay the bills. Like that's not why I started this thing. I want to be passionate. I want to talk about subjects I'm interested in. What excites me. Um, yeah. So does that answer the question?
Yeah, that tells me that you're a good dude. I no, for real, because as a business owner, when we start hiring people, there's a couple different types of business owners out there. They're the ones that just want to make money, they'll cut costs, they'll cheat people out.
Yeah.
They're just focused on that, and they don't lose sleep over
Yeah.
employees. And then you got the good people with good hearts that do lose sleep, over being able to take care of employees. Like that was a big part of my burnout as well when I started hiring
Mm.
full time. In fact, that was one of the biggest mistakes when I started my agency. That's when I started putting on weight. It was really difficult, because you lose sleep, and
Mm.
the main, like, the most important thing is taking care of your people and their livelihood and all that, and just the pressure that's there. So yeah, that tells me what kind of a cat you are, man. But I already knew that. Already knew that. Nicholas had a really good question. He asked, and it's a question that I had too. I wanted to ask is, what do you find to be the most challenging thing being a digital nomad or working remote?
I would love to answer the question, but is it okay if we first check out some comments, because I see many people
Yeah.
that I wanna like.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, we'll come back to that one. So, yeah, what do you see, man? Go ahead and jump right in because we got a lot. This is cracking.
Yeah, I see
Right.
like Nicholas, which I see a lot on Facebook. I think you already mentioned him. I think I see some of my viewers as well. Imran is here. That's cool because Imran does a lot of live streams. Imran, if you're watching this, I would love to also sometimes be part of your live stream. This is my first live stream that I do with a creator. So that's that it's cool. Imran's altijd. Imran is always everywhere. I don't know how he does it. So
He's not real. He's AI. That's
yeah,
that's my
he's
theory.
like yeah, he's also a
Man.
powerhouse, definitely.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
so yeah, another person from Crooked Block I saw in the comments,
Yeah.
and
We got Mark from Wiki Design. He's in the WP Creators crew,
ah,
the podcast that we're doing. And
mm,
he also used to be a digital nomad as well. He's very, very familiar with this lifestyle.
mm, cool. Yeah, I think in general, like we should talk more about lifestyle on
Lifestyle, yeah.
YouTube. Yeah, it's not only about making tutorials, It's there's so much to talk about, but yeah, at the end of the day, we want a good life, right?
That's why we do what we do.
Yeah,
And for me, that's why I love what I do because it gives me a good life. And I want to teach it to see
yeah,
other people have a good life as well.
yeah. Okay, so what was the question again?
All right. First, I got to say what's up to, let me see, Ginger. All right. A Lightbox Pro member. I got to give a shout out. Judy, what's going on? Man, this is awesome. This is really cool. Carlton. Yeah, we got a lot of questions. I'm putting stars on all of them so we don't miss any. Let's
Okay.
start with Nicholas's question. It's a
Oh.
really good one. He asked, what's the most difficult part about being a digital nomad?
You want to answer that first, or you want me to answer?
Yeah, I go for
Okay.
it. Unless if you're throwing a lifeline to me, if you want time to think. It's all good.
What's the most difficult part? Um, what's the most difficult part? Yeah, I think just prioritizing, but I don't know if that has something to do about the digital nomad life. I think I've done quite a bit of work in order to make sure I can work here. So staying productive is definitely not easy if you just, yeah. Okay. If if you don't plan, if you don't make a plan for your how you're going to spend your weeks, then it's very easy for the other people here and just the island to suck up your time, uh, because there's so much to do. And so you should really come in with a plan, like, okay, for example, I this is how I do it. Like Monday I do this, Tuesday I do this, Wednesday I do this, and Thursday right now is for my clients. And so there's never a question about it. So even when somebody says like, hey, do you want to do this together, I'm like, yeah, okay, but I first, at least I'm going to spend a few hours doing this, and then we can go somewhere. So I think it's just protecting your time that was very challenging for me in the beginning, especially if you're alone, if you don't have a relationship, you're just single going traveling. like then there's so much fun, you know. It's like you need, especially if you stay in hostels and like places where there's
Yeah.
a lot of community, like it's hard. Like in that regard, it's better to stay in Europe because there's less to do outside. So then, you're just gonna work. Like what else is
Yeah.
there to do?
Yeah. I think the reason why that term digital nomad feels so cheesy is because the way it's been used, like on social media, and like you think of somebody by the beach or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and like they make a video of the day in the life and they really just work an hour, they spend time just
Yeah.
wasting time.
Yeah.
For me, like that was the original vision, but I just
Mhm.
quickly learned that that's not how you get ahead in life.
No,
That's not
no,
how you feel.
exactly.
That's not reality, and
No.
yeah, being able to manage time and manage productivity was one of my big challenges starting off.
Mm,
And expectations too.
yeah, expectations. Yeah. Yeah, I think that beach laptop lifestyle, that people somehow, that image ended up in the minds of many because of, I think Instagram is where it started. But just to get it out there, the beach is the most horrible place to open your laptop. Okay, because there is sand going into the holes of your laptop. Like that's the worst thing you want in your
Right.
laptop. And like the Wi-Fi in beach clubs is always bad. Like you have to, if you want to work, you have to go to a co-working space or just have a place like in your house, like we just have a normal desk, and yeah, that's how we work.
Yeah. Then you got the heat, you got everything. And plus, when I'm at the beach, I want to be at the beach, and
Yeah, yeah,
I don't want to be
exactly.
working.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, my biggest challenge being remote is being away from my family. That's the hardest thing for me. That's something that's been really hard, especially in my
Mm.
first few years, because I moved out here with a one-way ticket and $600 to my name, and not, not
No.
not even knowing how to use a computer. I was determined. I said, I'm going to leave. I'm going to make this happen. I don't know how. I'm going to learn how to use a computer and how to code. And so I was broke for a long time, like for the
Whoa.
first couple years. So I couldn't really afford to go back and forth to visit family more than once a year. So that was always a challenge. Now I go back like 2 or 3 times a year, but
Mm.
it's hard when you get like a new nephew. Like my nephew was born and he starts getting
Yes.
old really quick, things like that.
Yes. But wait, your family originally is where?
Southern California.
Oh, that's a long trip from Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Europe is already like a horrible, like you're exactly on the opposite side, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I see. Yeah, I'm also not. I'm honestly, like, I don't have a long term visa yet here. So I'm also thinking like, how am I going to do this with family? Because I already, yeah, I miss them. It's not perfect. So for the long term, yeah, it's hard. I think you should definitely travel back at least once a year for, and not for 2 days, but seriously, then have some quality time, and then it's doable, because I think many people that live close to their family don't even see their family a lot. So then it can be nice to just really have quality time when you go there. I think that's a
yeah.
good way to compensate.
Yeah, and anybody who is looking to make this kind of move, it's something to plan. I found like you got to plan. You got to make sure you have something set aside in case if you got to come over right away.
Mm,
It's those things you got to think about. I remember the first time I went back to visit my family, I didn't tell them I was coming back. It was Thanksgiving, and I
yeah.
played it off like, oh, I can't make it home for Thanksgiving. That's a big holiday for our family.
Mm.
And I call my brother-in-law. I'm like, dude, you got to sneak me in, pick me up. I put like my camera, like my phone here. And, they went crazy when they saw me, but they're like, why didn't you tell us you weren't coming? So we booked flights to Hawaii tomorrow.
Mm.
So yeah, another thing is tell your family you're coming back home when you're coming back.
Like they're coming to Bali and you're flying to America. Imagine seeing them somewhere on the airport of Dubai and be like, hey, where are you guys going?
So Mark, he's asking, what's your favorite platform for accommodations?
Oh, by far booking.com, like the app. Like I love using booking.com. I sometimes even the first few weeks I went to Bali, I was like so living on the edge because I was so done with planning everything. In Europe, I always planned every single step of my life, and I was just like, you know what? Now I'm not gonna plan anything. So sometimes when I was in the south of Ubud, I just stepped into a taxi and I said like, bring me to the north, and then in the taxi I was still trying to find a place to sleep. Oh, on the app.
Dang, see, that's it. That's a real traveling right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Man, so do you feel like you gained a lot of freedom and were able to breathe a lot more after you made the move?
Um, in terms of business, absolutely. There are other things which are challenging because changing your whole life, like, I started living with another person. That's in our personal life, it came with other challenges. Um, but from a business perspective, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I love to mm, have the freedom to go to different places, work from different places, but also when I want to do something fun, that it is available. I should use it more because I still work too much. Um, but yeah, it's very nice, that feeling that it's available. Sometimes you don't even have to use it. It's like the feeling of a pool in your backyard is already nice if you don't use it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, like things get crazy. Like I could just hop on my bike and drive to the jungle and just
For
take a day
example,
off,
yeah,
just like,
yeah,
look at today. This is a self-care day. I'm gonna go
yes.
adventure.
Yeah. Oh, and that, by the way, is so good in Bali. It's probably in Thailand as well. But like self care, like getting massage, professional, huh? Like doing yoga, meditation, but also getting really good food in good restaurants with beautiful views. Like those kind of things, I really love. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's what drove like attracted me to Chiang Mai, it's which is
Mm,
very similar to Ubud, where it's a bit more spiritual. A lot of people come there for healing and from
yeah.
all different walks of life. And there's just that kind of energy over there.
Mm.
So Carlton asked a question. So he's asking, what marketing strategies or channels have been most effective for your agency's growth? That's a really good question, Carlton.
That's a really good question. Yeah.
I'll leave that
Uh,
one up. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, for me, I've always been talking a lot. I've never used. Oh, okay, that's not true. The first year of my career, yeah, okay. When I was 15, 16, I used those platforms, which are now like Fiverr. They didn't exist back then, but like predecessors of those platforms where you compete. So I started with logo design, and then 20 designers would compete for one logo, and then one of them would get paid. And but back then I was still working in a snack bar selling fries, so that for me was a level up. Um, but after that, I think I just started like posting my work on social media, and then after some time, I started making videos. But I get this question a lot, like, "Hey, do you think I should also be making videos in order to attract clients?" And my answer always is, yes, it definitely works, but being a YouTuber is not a side job thing. I mean, okay, you can do it, like you can do it one day a week, but people underestimate how much time it costs to make a good quality video, and we don't make videos just for clients. If I would just want to attract the clients, my videos would not be the way they are, because my videos are not perfect for attracting clients. even though they do attract clients. So my point is, yes, do self promotion on social media, because the the people that are going to buy from you need to trust you, and you can easily build trust on social media. It's that simple. And but you don't have to become a YouTuber like us. Like, that has to be, I think, a passionate thing where you really want to do it instead of just doing it to get sales for your agency.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh, yeah, I can't imagine like just doing videos for that purpose. I know some people do really well with it. Uh, but it's something that for me is, I guess is because I don't care about getting clients right now at all.
Okay.
And I still get a lot of leads, but when the videos go out, it's just like you, man. I just want to teach people, show something, and geek out, basically. But
Mm-hmm.
social media, I think everybody should be utilizing it. But when it comes to finding clients and marketing, uh, I've gone down this journey a lot, and I put a lot of thought into this through the
Okay.
years,
Yeah.
because it's one of the biggest challenges that most freelancers face: how to find clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I come to the point of realization where there's no one fit answer. I can't answer and say
Okay.
this is the best way to go. It's, you got to find what works best for you, because for me, my best way where I got the most clients was from Clutch. I
What is
happen
that?
to be Clutch is a directory website.
Okay.
So if you were to put in, I haven't checked in a while, but like a couple years ago, if you were to put in best web design agency, best e-commerce, best web developer, best web company in Thailand, we would come up in the top 5, and Clutch would always be number 1, and we would be in the top 5 of Clutch. So we got a lot of traction from there.
Okay.
And it just happens that I was in an area where the competition wasn't that difficult as far as like ranking in
Mm.
Clutch, and Clutch just dominated SEO. So it was a great funnel. So that, and then meetup events, business
Yeah.
events, like
Yeah.
actually going and talking.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way,
Yeah.
but it's where you're located. And I think where you got the opportunity, like,
Yes. Yes. Definitely business event. I mean, yeah. I would think, like, I would say, like, the social media promotion and going to just basically meet people. Like, it sounds a bit um, weird to say this, but to basically have a social life, and yeah, it sounds a bit like, yeah. I mean, it's true. I've seen guys that have a big social life, and the moment they start their business, they have like 20 clients. It's simply because they know a lot of people, and
yeah,
they talk like, that's it. Like, people trust you because they've seen you. So it's it sounds a bit weird, but like, get more outside of your house. Even joining a sport club uh close to your house, and just making, if people are going to ask what you do anyways. Let's say you're on the football club, and there are like 200 members there, and everybody knows you do websites. Well, trust me, you're going to get clients from that, just from going to being part of a club like that, you know. So
yeah,
you don't have to be a YouTuber, but I would use my social media. If I would not have YouTube, I would definitely use my social media to every client project I have, just put it on there, show what you did for them and how it changed, and yeah, not just depend on a good website. Like, you can have a great website, and you should, but if nobody visits your website, then yeah, there's no conversion, right? So you need to make sure
absolutely.
that people know you, basically.
Yeah, you got to put it out there. I love how
Yeah.
Ben Burns, he flipped it around way back, and it got me looking at it different. That question,
Mm.
how to find clients. It's like, well, how do clients find you?
Yeah.
And look at it from a different perspective.
Yes.
Like, okay, I'm an introvert. I get anxiety talking to people, like going
Okay.
out. Like, it took a lot of work to be able to do something like this. I never would imagine doing it, but
Mm.
like by nature, I'm introverted, get shy, get social anxiety, all that kind of stuff. But then I started going to networking events, business events in Bangkok. And I found a secret, like not secret, just like an easy formula to follow. All you got to do is go to them. And when it's your turn to talk to somebody, get cornered with somebody, all you got to do is say, what do you do? That's it. And they'll tell you everything they do. People are so happy to talk about themselves, their
Yeah.
business. And you just got to sit there listening, like, dude, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
then after maybe about 5-10 minutes of them telling you everything about what they do, because they're excited, they want to
Yeah.
share it. Then they ask you, what do you do? Oh, I build websites. And you'd be surprised how many people will say, I've really been wanting to get a new website built. Do you
Yeah.
have a business
Yeah.
card?
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like, really? Is
Exactly.
this easy?
Yeah. Yeah. And the it's so funny, like, that you say this, because just letting other people talk will give the other person the oftentimes the experience that they're having a great conversation. I've also read this in a book on how to influence people, but it also said something like this, and I had it once with a guy. It was so beautiful. I basically asked him, like, hey, what do you do? And I just kept asking questions, and just showing interest, but in a genuine way. I was just interested in what he was doing, but not like super interested, right? And we talked for like he talked for like 30 minutes. I just asked questions, okay, and then at the end, after 30 minutes, he said, "Great conversation." And then he left and then he left. And there was no going. There was no question to me, which was fine. But then that to me proved like, okay, it was not really a conversation. I asked questions, but he, after that moment, he changed his attitude towards me, and he really liked me.
Mhm.
And the only thing I did was just ask. And
That's
so
good.
it's amazing how, yeah, what you say. It's amazing how people want to talk about themselves, and how you can use that to your advantage, just to build trust, um, but not in a dirty way. I mean, it's you can call it manipulation, but at the same time, showing interest. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm. No, that's just genuine, and I think it's something a lot of us creatives who are more on the introverted side need to try.
Yeah.
For anybody who is struggling finding clients, if you are in a location where you have networking events, you have a chamber of commerce, you have
Mhm.
things like that, break out of the comfort zone and just do
Yeah.
that. This is what I do. Like I'm full of anxiety when I go there before getting in there, but I
Uh,
just run it through my head. Exactly said. I'm just going to ask questions and get to know people,
yeah.
and that's it. I'm just going to genuinely listen. I'm going to actively listen. That's all I want to do. And
Yeah.
then by doing it, you start to get practice, and that's how we break out of our shell and start to grow. And I think that's really important for us creatives to start doing.
Yeah. But what if there are two introverts? Somebody says in the comments.
It's going to be a very quiet conversation. What do you do? I don't know. What do you do? You first. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's better or two extroverts is better. Oh, this is what I did. Wait, no, wait. I got to tell you what I do. We got some
Oh.
questions in here. So, Lana, what is going on, Lana? Okay, we're going to catch up on some questions.
Hmm.
Lana asks, do you have secret of prioritizing tasks or videos for yourself? Really good question.
A really good question, and this comes at the perfect moment. Perfect. 1 second.
Nice.
Today I read something in this book. Now where's the camera? Oh, here.
The
Yeah.
cure for burnout.
Okay. Let me show you. Because, like I said, I'm not good at prioritizing, Lana. Uh, I want way too much, and it's often impossible. But I do some of the things that were part of this list. Um, First of all, I do time blocking, which is explained in this book as well. So time blocking is basically blocking out your calendar with all of the things, with all of the topics you need to do, but not the tasks. So, for example, my Monday is always to prepare videos. My Tuesday is to record. My Wednesday is for living my pixels. My Thursday is for clients, and then Friday I have small tasks. So, like, I don't know, trying a new software or doing accounting or all the things that want to get into the week, emails, stuff like that. And not that I never reply to an email during the week, but at least there's some structure to it. And then within those blocks, I try to think what is a priority and what is not. And that's what I'm now putting in a lot more effort. I'm actually now having with my best friend, I'm having a accountability call every week where we make each other's to-do lists. It's a new thing we're trying, because we know each other very well, and I know when he's talking bullshit, and he knows when I'm talking bullshit. So when I'm saying, yeah, I really need to finish that project, I already can hear in his voice that that's something he just wants, but it's not really necessary. So then I just ask him, like, really, like is there a deadline? Ah, no, not really. Okay, so it doesn't have to finish this week. No, okay, you're right. And then we get to the point where we get actually to the task which you don't want to do, but you should do. And that's the one we then put on the top list. So now I'm just I'm just using my friends in order to make sure that I don't sabotage myself, because we do that all the time. We That's also what this book explains. Like, we think we give ourselves all of these imaginary deadlines, where we say this has to be finished this week, but we're already postponing this hard project for weeks, maybe months, maybe even longer. So now that I'm in the process of making a course, I mean, making a course is a monster. It is not easy. It's the biggest project, like, I think you can do as a creator. So I really need to, like, be focused on that, and put all of the tasks that I have on a list, and then prioritize them, putting them in phases, and then sticking to my time blocks. But another very famous way of prioritizing is the Eisenhower Matrix. It's basically putting tasks in boxes of important, not important, urgent, and not urgent. So you have
Mhm.
4 boxes. I don't know if you can see it. This is
Yeah.
a very, very famous one. And often we have many tasks that are urgent but not important, but we do then prioritize them. So, for example, that one client that is really annoying because he has already asked 4 times if you can change that link on the website or whatever. Is that important? No, it's not. Maybe he should just wait. But just because it's annoying, we do it. And so, what is important for us, for our business, and what project really should have already been finished? And I am very guilty of giving clients that are just annoying priority over the clients that are actually really nice and don't complain, but they deserve their project to be finished first instead of this annoying client.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am redoing my whole prioritization because of this book.
I think that's something just about everybody with clients could relate to right there, man. Yeah, I remember I got an email. I was working on some high level stuff, some really big stuff with some big
Okay.
clients, and I got like an
Yeah.
email from a client, and they, asked to have the background image moved a couple pixels over. All right.
Mm.
It
Wow.
was like that. And I get the email and it interrupts my workflow and I instantly get
Yeah.
upset at the client. And then I had to stop. I'm like, it's not the client's fault, it's my fault. And I made a decision right then and there. I never want to get bothered with such a low level task again. And that's when I I did not ever want to get another email like that again, because all it does is it causes me stress and it
Yep.
pulls away. And like those little things impact our time so big. Like there's a study that takes like somewhere between 17 and 22 minutes to get the focus changed, when we get interrupted, to move to a
Oh,
1 minute
yeah,
task,
yeah.
and then another 17, 22 minutes to get the focus back on another. So that 1 minute task really costs us about a half an hour. Uh yeah, man. But
Yeah.
dude, it's an ongoing process, right? Trying to be productive and trying to improve productivity.
Of course, I think it's an ongoing thing. But I think for me, when I got into the burnout, I learned that my body also has a voice. Before that, I always ignored my body and I was just going on until I basically dropped on the floor. Like that happened also. I fainted sometimes, or my legs just were so painful, I just couldn't walk. And so I completely ignored my body. So during the burnout, I discovered that my body also has needs. And so what happened is that I basically put prioritization on the side because I was like, wait, health is the absolute most important thing there is in life, which is true. But that doesn't mean that you should let go of prioritization at all and just listen to your feelings, because business is not about feelings. And so what happened to me is that I had so much pain from that burnout, and it put so much fear in me that it would happen again, that I would just be like, okay, you know what, today I'm just going to work on what feels good. But that doesn't move uh, mountains. And maybe I don't need to move mountains anymore, maybe just small mountains. But it's like life is about balance, and that's what I experience when I get older. Like when you get pain in some area, you often tend to go to the complete opposite side in order to never feel that pain again. But that's also too extreme, and it makes sense because your brain will do everything to not have that pain anymore. But if you want to get healthy and be a balanced person, then yeah, you should also look at your extremes sometimes. So it is an
Absolutely.
ongoing process, but for me, it was like a swing left and a swing right, and now I'm getting back to it, but without ignoring what my body needs, because I don't want to drop on the floor again, like never.
Mm.
And also, no person can ever drive me so crazy anymore because I was way too nice. That was one of my weaknesses. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is a process, but I just wanted to explain that like I just completely let it go of prioritization because of my body. Now I'm getting back into it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Man, you know, I know my body, dude. Like I got up to 118 kilos, man. Like
Okay.
when I saw you over at work camp, I think I was at my worst. Like
Mm,
weight wise, and it was just a constant burnouts, getting sick over and over.
mm,
I had to take. One thing I learned how to do in this journey is to take steps back. But sometimes I wait too long to take a step back to take a bigger step forward.
mm.
And let things get too painful, and then need to recover. Like I don't know if you've ever had to go through recovery phases. Like I had to do that too many times, man.
Yeah.
uh but as a result, what I've learned to do is let so much stuff go. One of the things I just let go recently was emails. Like I
Okay.
always felt I had to respond to every single email.
Oh
And it
yes.
hit me the other day, like, I don't have to. Like
Oh
I get so many.
yes.
I do not have to. And I
Yeah.
got to the point now where like, either I could respond to every email
Yeah.
or I could spend more time in the community with the Lytbox members, and I could
Yep.
spend more time where I want to.
Yep.
And then I just realized, I'm like, if this email isn't serving me any purpose,
Yep.
I could let it go.
Yep.
So I just started dropping things. I work with a system. In my system,
Okay.
I have my task list, and I have an ABC system in my task list. So
Oh,
whenever I put down a task, I give it A, B, or C.
alright.
A means only I could do this. Like I have to do this task. There's nobody else. B means I could do it. It's a high level task, but if I could delegate it to somebody who could also have, my skills, then I could
Mhm.
delegate it. And C means I have no business touching this. I have no business at all.
Yeah.
Like moving, changing the font on a website, changing a background image, C task, like
Yeah, I see.
it teaches me then to look at where am I spending my time and
Yeah.
to let things go. If it's a C
Yeah.
task and I don't got anybody to do it, I
Yeah.
just don't do it. It just
Yeah.
doesn't get done. I delete it.
Yeah. That's also a very good way. Like, what is worth your time?
What's that?
What is worth your time, or what is not worth your time?
Man, time, man. It's the most
Yeah.
valuable thing, man.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay, we got a lot of questions, man. This
Okay.
chat has been cracking. Okay. All right, we're
That's
going to
good.
catch up on some questions right now. I got some stars. I want to just catch up on the chat in general.
Okay.
Nicholas got another question. So he says, what do you guys think is the most difficult part about working as a digital nomad? Wait, did we have, did
I
we?
think
We
we
already
already
did
had
that.
that. Yeah, we already did that
Oh,
one.
I scrolled too high. Okay, here it is.
Hey,
I knew
wait.
Nicholas had another one. Oh, wait, what happened? What you got?
Paul is here as well. WP Tuts in the chat.
Paul in the house. What is going on, man? Awesome. All right, Nicholas. So Nicholas is asking, what is the best tip you can give to someone thinking of becoming a digital nomad, moving to another country? Another good question, man.
The best tip. Yeah, that's always a hard one. And the best tip. What is the best tip? Do I have the best tip? I don't know.
Mine is to buy a one-way ticket and just do it.
Oh,
Don't
no, I
think
would say
too
the
much,
opposite.
man.
No, no, not for me.
Quit
Not
your
for me.
job, buy a one-way ticket.
No. Please don't. No, you're gonna be one of those annoying tourists who doesn't have money for anything.
Oh yeah. Don't be a broke tourist, man. Well, I
And
mean, at
it's
least be a
locals.
working tourist. Just don't be like, playing music in a night market tourist.
No, I think. Uh, yeah, I think I would just say have a plan. Like, don't go in there and just like think it you are taken care of. Like, it's not easy. It's with everything in life, right? It's the same with starting your web design business. Don't just go in there and have no plan at all and think like I will see where it ends. I mean, of course, you don't have all the answers, but at least have a plan, and then you can change the plan. So yeah, because what I did, I just flexed with booking my accommodation in my taxi, but that's too much. Okay, it's a cool story, but it's super unproductive. You cannot build a productive life like that. Like now, I stay in one house for a month, or no, actually two, maybe three already. No, I think two in this house, and now we're gonna move to another house, which is two, maybe 1 month, 2 months, and then another 2, 3 months, and then you can build something. So yeah, I would say do some research on the place you're gonna go to. See if there are some things you need in order to be productive. And if you really like the beach, for example, and you love it to go to the beach and that relaxes you at the end of the day, nice. But also check if there's like a nice working place in the area where you can work in airco, because if you go to Southeast Asia where most people go, it's hot. It's hot. So you need airco, right? So you need to make sure you have that. If you really love community, make sure there are events and you are in a spot. Make sure you figure out the transportation, how you work. You wanted to talk about that a little bit, like the gear you need. Like, I like to keep it really simple. Like last year, I replaced almost all my electronics. Every Everything, almost everything, all of my electronics are now USB-C. All of my lights are battery powered, all USB-C. My laptop, my mouse, this microphone, everything. Okay, one exception. One exception. Apple still with the stupid Lightning port. If they would have if they would have this keyboard with USB C, I would buy it. Maybe they already do, but like you need to make it easy for yourself. When I started traveling, I got so much stuff that I didn't need. I had like whole tripods and like lights set up, and now I have like simple small lights. Here, I will show you. I will show you. I have these kind of lights. Like this is like this is $30 on Amazon or whatever website, and it's great. Okay, maybe the battery should be a little bit better because this one is cheaper than the other one I got. But yeah, make it easy for yourself. That's what I would say, and that requires some preparation. So I don't really agree with with Jeffrey on this part.
I stand by my I just buy your ticket, just do it. Yeah, I got to be a bit crazy on that part, but Mark, he brought up something, and he's an experienced digital nomad, not having a dedicated desk. So like
Yeah,
I never considered myself a nomad because I found when I did move that I don't like to be nomadic. Like I like to
yeah,
have a home. I like
yeah.
to
Me
have
too.
my desk.
Yeah,
I gotta have two monitors. Like I
yeah,
could do some work on my laptop at a coffee shop, but
yeah.
there's no way I could be as productive as I am with two monitors that are big and set up.
Yeah, I agree. I did upgrade from the 14-inch MacBook to the 16-inch exactly for that reason. I'm now also looking at the 16-inch MacBook. It's doable, but yeah, of course, a screen would be better. But I didn't like it that I had to travel with a big screen. So that's why all of my gear is now small. I'm also recording with my iPhone. Also, my YouTube videos are now recorded with my iPhone instead of a big Canon camera. So I'm like completely simplified on everything. But yeah, I would love to have a bigger monitor as well. But a desk, because that's what his question was about. I just rent a desk here in Bali. You can rent a desk. This desk is 800K per month in rupiah, not in euros. Um, which is what is it, 50 euros a month. And and then I think I get this chair as well, with a nice chair. And then I just, after a month, I give it back to the company, and when I even go to another place, they just put it in the car and I can extend it. Like I need a desk and a chair, uh and airco at least.
Oh, dude, aircon, yes. Make sure wherever you're staying is not fans only. All right.
Yeah.
I would not survive with just fans, and neither will the computer.
No,
Nothing will.
exactly.
Ginger asked if you could go back and do something completely different in this journey, what would you do differently? That's a good one.
Oh,
Hmm.
oh, that's a good one. Okay, yeah, this is more YouTube, what I would think, but I would have started on YouTube in English already in like 2012. I started in Dutch for 7 years, and then I switched. I think in 2018, I switched to the channel that I have right now. But if I would have started back then, like I would be a lot further. But at the same time, I wasn't focused. My channel was everywhere, all of kind of creative software. So yeah, focus would be definitely a thing I would have done earlier. In the beginning of my career, I wanted to do everything like graphic design and websites and custom development and everything. And now I'm just like, I just make service-based websites. I do some UX work and I make videos about it, and that's it. Like I really learned how to focus, and that's I think the thing that I would have done differently. Instead of thinking I can do it all, wanting to prove myself. I think when you start your career, you want to prove yourself, like that you can do things. But at some point, you're just like, I am so all over the place. And I'm still all over the place, even though I focus right now. So it's already hard to focus. So I would say focus. That would be my answer.
That's a good one. Dang, there's 41 more chats. Wow.
Yeah, let's see what
41.
people are saying.
If I were to start over though, like my web journey, which is about 8 years ago, that's when I moved here and started. I would have gone in on SEO. That's the one thing I would
Oh,
have done differently because at the
okay.
time, Chiang Mai was the SEO capital of the world. We have people like Matt Diggity up over here. A lot of the really like the biggest SEO names are over here, and there's just opportunities to learn from these guys and connect from
Oh,
them.
okay.
And as far as financially, when you start building websites, you're starting off building them for $500, $1,000, and it's always a bit of a challenge. But SEO, like man, it was a really good time. Like
Mm.
like eight, six, like 6, 5, 4, 3 years ago, man, if you had your stuff in order, you could really make good money. And I would have bought Bitcoin. Yeah.
Of
'Cause
course. Who
I
who
remember,
wouldn't?
I remember like when I first moved here, I met some dude and he kept saying, dude, you got to get Bitcoin. It was like at the time, like only a few $100s.
Oh
Like it
no.
was like at the
Oh
lowest.
no.
And I was like, you guys are all, but like, that was part of the digital nomad. So a lot of the people that got wealthy off of it were here, man. We're here.
Oh no.
I'm
Yeah, I
like,
believe
I'm just
that.
gonna learn how to build websites.
If you would just have
Right.
bought one.
Yeah. But then I hear all the stories of everybody that lost all their money later, and it makes me feel better. Sorry. I know it's not right.
That's not right.
But it's not right. It's not right. Okay. It's gonna lay. I'm gonna keep it professional. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, let's catch up on this chat. There's so many. This is awesome, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Um. Oh, thank you, Ginger, for Sorensen, for the compliment. I will not say that because that will be self promotion. But thank you.
Oh,
Um,
self-promote. Go for
oh, okay.
it.
Ginger
Pick up the
says,
course. Go
"Yeah, it's literally about my course." She says, "I
Oh,
want to
no, go
share.
for it.
I want to share with Reno that this Elementor course got me through my first big paid project. It
Awesome.
launched me, and I just want to say thank you. I still reference it all the time to help me. That is really cool to hear. I think you have these stories as well with your courses. Like when you see real impact from the work that you do, it's so cool. So
Yeah,
thank you for
man. Yeah.
sharing, Ginger.
Bro, and you're working on another one coming up?
Oh yes, I'm in the middle of it. I'm almost done. I mean, not done. I'm done with pre-launch. I always do like a pre-launch before, and then people can get in with a huge discount, early bird, and then I'm actually recording all the videos. So for the people that already trust that I can make something good, but the price they pay is not having all the videos yet. But they can get in for a good price. So
Yeah.
that's what I do. Also to give myself some time because instead of just saying, okay, the launch is going to be the 1st of January, that will put so much pressure on me. I can collapse under that pressure. I'm not good with that. So I'm just telling like as long as I'm recording the videos, it's in pre-launch. And when I'm ready, then it's gonna be a full launch. And that gives me peace.
Yeah. Can people go and pick it up right now?
No, 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 no. It's
Not yet.
1.5 week. We want to launch it next weekend, so the 1st of September.
Do you have a newsletter that everybody watching this could sign up for and
Well,
get
if you
notified?
if you're asking for it, I
Go
thank
for
you.
it, man. Not for real, because look at
Okay,
you create really good value, man. And
thank you.
I just want to see everybody, learning, man. Like, I want to see this happen. And, it's because of people like you, creators like you, who, have really given a lot. That's what helped me learn. I didn't do this alone. Like we do this learning from other people.
Yeah, that's true.
And we need that. Like we
Yeah,
all really need that. Like, there are different types of mentors that we have,
yeah,
but the most common mentor and the one that's most available is the one we would never meet, is the person who is putting in all this work to teach. They could still be our mentors and our guides. So
okay,
yeah, man, you're one of those. So yeah, definitely share it. You could put it in
okay.
the chat and we could put it in the description of the video as well.
Wait, how do I do this? Yeah, it's on my website. Um, there's a waitlist link. I have a waitlist for it, and if people sign up on that waitlist, they will get the information about it. And on the waitlist page, you can also see what the course is about. So before you sign up, you can check if the description is something you would be interested in. So let me just quickly put it in the chat. Let's see. Wait list. I don't know if I'm allowed to even share this. Is it coming through, my link, or no?
Well, I got a delay over here,
Uh,
but it might pop up. It's all good. We could always put it in the description as well afterwards.
it's just on my website, livingwithpixels.com, and then you go to the top to courses, Figma design course. You click on it, and that's where the waitlist is. And then you
Nice,
can
man.
sign up with your email.
All right. You hear that, everybody? Head over to Living with Pixels. All right. Figma. Okay, cool. I don't want to. Yeah. I've been teaching a lot more in Figma.
Yeah, you
So
also,
it's a
right?
tool I use every day. It's like
Yeah.
I haven't been showing it. And I know, like, part of me was discouraged to teach it because,
Okay.
there would be a small percentage of pushback from web creators, who are like just building websites with Elementor,
Yeah.
a bit of pushback about you don't need to design a Figma or you could just build
Yeah,
the websites right in there. And
of
I
course.
let that discourage me. And I had to like really look at it. Like, why did it discourage me? Like, nothing's for everybody. This is something I use in my design process on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps me out tremendously. And I do
Yeah.
believe if you want to be a pro web designer, you need to learn the pro web tools. And that's the number one pro web tool. So, yeah, it's definitely, I'm glad to see that you're teaching that, man.
Oh yes, absolutely. I am actually, like, it's one of the things that motivates me actually to start or to fight that war. Basically, I love to shoot some arrows, at the camp of people who say like, oh, you don't need a design tool, you can just design an Elementor. Like, I have a part of the marketing that I have for the course is the um, is changing their mindset on this subject. Like, I love that. Actually, the
Mhm.
video that blew up my YouTube channel back in 2020 was called "Why You Should Use" or "Why You Should Never Start in Elementor Before You Use Adobe XD." Something like that. That was the title. That channel blew up my channel because it was I was apparently the first one that discussed or opened that conversation about how your workflow should be in Elementor. And it is a sensitive topic, and it will always be because it's Elementor's marketing that says like, oh, you can just do everything in our tool. And so I blame Elementor for it, not the people. Elementor makes it seem like you can do everything, right? um, and and you can. That's the point. You can technically, but it comes with so many problems if you do that. And my main argument in the course is, yes, okay, you can do it and do it. You will see. But if you start with the end product, which is the development, the end phase, then don't complain that your client wants 10 revision rounds, because that's what's going to happen, because you skip all the steps before it. You don't make sure you lead the client to the result they're looking for. You're expecting that your first version is perfect. It's actually a cocky attitude without people being aware of it. So I think it's a whole mindset shift. And once you realize that starting in a tool like Figma can actually save you time instead of thinking it costs more time because you have to do double work, that's when your mind shifts. And that's also, for you, when selling a course like that or just making videos about it will get easier, because it's a battle in their mind. It's they need to see the worth first.
Mhm. Oh yeah, it's definitely a mindset thing. You got to be open minded. It's really important. And with education, putting stuff out there and just teaching and educating, it could help to open up some minds.
Yeah.
So, I when I see that before, I was like, come on, why are you so against this? But then I also recognize that I've been closed minded in certain areas, and it's part of my own personal journey to open up my mind. And it's usually when we do open our mind, we hear a message from somebody that gives us that aha moment. It could help out. So, yeah, man, I really like seeing other web creators, in our space, in the WordPress space,
Hmm.
start to do more with Figma. If we look at like
Yeah.
web creators in the Webflow and Framer space, they're
Yeah.
always, well, maybe not Framer, but definitely Webflow. They always are also teaching Figma. It's an essential part. It's just like you said, it's the first steps. The first crucial steps to building a website
Yeah.
is part of the design process.
Yeah. Uh,
How you
uh,
doing on time,
well,
man? I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead. I
oh,
didn't mean to cut you off. I just know we're both in the evening time here. It's
oh, that's
I
fine.
usually I'm not talking with somebody that's on my timeline, like
Ah,
usually somebody is just waking up or taking their afternoon break.
no, I'm good. We can continue for like maybe like unto half, so like 20 more minutes. I think
Sounds
that
good.
that will be
Sounds
enough.
good.
I want to say what Paul is saying. He's saying generally, jumping straight into the builder will wait. Yeah, generally, jumping straight into the page builder will generally increase the project timeline and longer wind it to do simple changes. Yeah, that's exactly my point. So I'm happy that Paul also sees how it increases the project timeline, even though people think that it's actually slowing them down. It's like this. What I got this great quote that I sometimes use to motivate myself. Um, 1 second. Oh yeah. Remember that investing your money will make you feel broke while it's making you rich. Working out will make you feel weak while it's making you strong. Resting will make you feel unproductive while it's refreshing you. It's these things in life where we feel like it's not actually helping us in the moment, but then if you look at it on a long-term perspective, then you see like, oh wait, this was actually helpful, but it was not immediate. And that's the thing with Elementor. What's so tricky about it? It's so immediate. You drag in a button and there's a button. It feels so easy. And we've also been guilty of I think I will just speak for myself. I've also been guilty of telling people how easy it is to build a website with Elementor, but I always in my content I try to say build. That's the thing. I never try to use design and Elementor as in design your website in Elementor. I always try to not say that to teach people like, hey, Elementor is for building. It's a development tool, and um, um, Figma is for design. I mean, companies like Webflow has done it a lot better. They have marketed themselves as a development tool, but it's visual development. It said it for a long time on their homepage, right? And companies like Bricks also it's a lot more clear. I don't know what Bricks says on their website, but the way that their product is designed and the way that they talk, it's there's no question about it. They focus their whole identity on making sure the building process is nice instead of trying to capture many audiences. And somehow Elementor has succeeded with convincing people that it's everything is possible in Elementor, but they know very well themselves that Figma is the way you should do it, and even Elementor itself, probably big parts of it are designed in Figma before it's developed. But I do have to say one more thing that I'm passionate about and also frustrated about is that in the WordPress world, there is a lot of companies who start with this development first mindset, and then they forget about the user experience part. So I think it's kind of like a curse in the WordPress world that it's a development first mindset. But many people who come to the platform, they're not coders, they're not developers. They are normal users, like or yeah, just creative people, right? And WordPress hasn't always been the best place for those people. That's why many of them gravitate towards other platforms like Squarespace and Wix. Yeah, that's my view on it.
You know, that's something that Noah Kagan, I'm reading his book right now, The $1,000,000 Weekend. That's what he's like just driving home on that book. You know,
Okay.
starting the business, but starting it looking at the customer and focus on the customer and the problem that you're solving for the customer, that
Yeah.
has to be the focus.
Yep.
Not about what I want to build, not about, you know, what do I want this to look like. It got to, the question always needs to be looked at, you know, how is this going to solve a problem for a customer, and take it from that viewpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing why you should, that's one of the reasons why you should use Figma. It's because you're not just selling websites. You are you are delivering a service to a client. You're helping a client get to a result. And that's the problem they have. The problem they have is not I don't have a website. The problem, well, sometimes that's part of the problem, but the problem they have is how do I communicate this service that I have or this product? And that's a whole process, and you need more than a builder in order to get there. So it's not really about what builder you use. That's not even the biggest point. That's why I don't haven't really switched, also because I don't really have time. Um, but also, it's just that's not the main thing I'm selling. I'm not selling Elementor websites. I'm selling a service to my client, and I help them get to their wanted and needed result. And just a small part of that is the visual design and the development. But if sometimes clients come to me and they think, oh, I know everything about Elementor, that's why you should hire me. I'm like, nope. I don't want to work, I don't want to just be an executor. Like, there are many people who know Elementor well, and many of them even know it better than us as influencers, because they make custom things so advanced.
We could
I'm
be
like,
order takers or we could be problem solvers,
yeah,
you
you
know.
want to be a problem solver, especially with
Exactly.
AI around the corner. Like good luck if you're just an executor. And
The
yeah.
order takers are the ones that are going to be taking a hit on that.
Yes,
Real
yes.
quick, if Ginger, if you are there still, happy birthday. Well, I was trying to look for like sound effects on this on this web app I'm using. I know they're in there. I was like, oh my goodness, like woo, you know, like I got to get the sound effects dialed in. So if it is somebody's birthday, you know, we could like, I don't
Awesome.
know, have confetti popping up or something.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. That means a lot, just hearing that's your birthday. And this is how it
yeah.
kicked it off. And man, this is, yeah. I mean, I never once imagined this ever happening, man. Do you ever feel that way? Does it ever like just out of nowhere just sneak up like, wow, is this real? Like,
I don't
yeah,
know. I just first I want to say happy birthday to Ginger. So I hope you have a great day, and very happy that you could find some time today for our stream. I think that's an honor on your birthday. Um, but do I ever feel that? Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about that, like before the stream. The thankfulness part in life. Somehow I've always been obsessed with YouTube, and it's such a big part of my life that I cannot even imagine living without it. I think there's gonna be a YouTube logo on my coffin. It's be like, this is his channel. So for me, it's hard to think that way. But I want to get your perspective. Like, what? How do you? I am thankful though, for like what I've accomplished. But at the same time, it's hard because I don't really celebrate my victories that much. I know I should do that more. Like, yeah, how do you see this whole thing that we're doing, like with YouTube and with your clients?
oh man, I'm just grateful for the journey. I just stay in the journey. To me, that's what it's all about. It's about just learning and growing and it's for me because of my background. I have to stay in the process of of self improvement and growth, so I don't go backwards. I have to keep moving forward. So, uh, this has turned into part of that journey. So I had to do a lot of self work several years ago.
Mhm.
Uh, and then, I found that, business development and, it all ties in. So just the whole thing, I'm just grateful.
Yeah,
That's it. I
yeah.
have, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to say on that. I have my practice where, I'm connected to, like I pray a lot, I take a lot of time out and that's about it. For me, it's just something that I feel every day. I'm just lucky. That's all.
I think that's what makes you beautiful as a person, to be honest. Because I think many people, including me, we're just trying to run so fast in life, and then we're sometimes forgetting what we have already achieved. And yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that. Like I'm sometimes when I call my friend, I am. It's always funny. I'm reminding him of how much he has achieved, and he needs to remind me of how much I have achieved because we often forget that. So I don't have that what you have, but I think it's beautiful because I think more people should be thankful for what they have, and I think yeah we focus too much on what we don't have, but it's already very nice the things that we do have. And when we talk about this and I feel it, I feel it. When we talk about it, it's nice. And but I think what I'm most thankful for is like the people I was be able to meet. Even you. We're gonna have hopefully if it works out, we're gonna maybe even have some fun in Bali soon. So those kind of
Yeah,
things, it
man.
makes me really happy. The work camps as well. Like I don't like to travel all the way in a plane. I don't like planes, but I don't want to miss it. It's great. Like it's like it's great. I just love the people, and that's what
Oh, man.
makes the whole community worth it. That's why I don't want to switch to WordPress, even if there's like I know there's some builders and some better in some other aspects, but there's a community here, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
it's
Oh
very
yeah.
power. Even though like some parts of WordPress are just like shit, but I mean I
Pros
saw
and cons, yeah, but it's
yeah
special. It's like
yeah
we got it good, man. It is special, man. It definitely is. And
yeah
yeah, I never expected to, go to a work camp and just it's so different, isn't it? When you go, like we use tools, take a lot of things. Like for me, I'll take a lot of things for granted. Like, dude,
mm,
this thing is rubbish. Why don't they do this? And
yeah
like get all judgmental and stuff. But then you
yeah
go and then you meet the people behind them, and you're
yes
seeing that hey, these are just like
normal
web
people
geeks like us, people with the same passions,
yeah
just trying to do the best that they could, and it
yeah
gives you a whole different perspective on
yeah
our plugins, our tools, and just the people behind the scenes of WordPress.
yeah it does I had this a lot with Elementor. Like I used to be like I think more critical towards them, and I'm still not happy with many things that they do. But when I met some of the developers and some of the designers behind it, and I worked on some features, we worked together. I worked a little bit for Elementor in terms of UX design, um, and I saw the complexity of what they need to do to operate on a big scale. When you're a small builder, it's easier to make changes, but they maybe that's also their own fault. But they're so much dependent on other things, and they have older versions, and so they're doing their best. I know, like they're also just people with families that are trying to make the best life, and they're in a very challenging situation right now because of where they live. And I don't want to get into
Mhm.
politics and what the opinion is about what should happening there, but just the fact, like I know the many people that are living there, like they don't agree with everything that's going on. They just want to make a good product. They don't even care about all that BS that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
government is doing. Like it's just. So no, I do have respect for them, even though I also think that they should change things. I think Paul
No
made
more ads. No
yeah,
more
no more
ads.
ads. I've- I find it very interesting. Paul made some videos about WordPress. Like nobody really, I mean, not from what I know, has really attacked WordPress in that way. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe people don't really see it that way, but I see it that way. But I think it should be attacked. I like to shoot arrows at things that are wrong, and I think that's great that we also have, that we also have those conversations. But we should also again should be thankful for what we do have.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong on calling out something that's gonna
No.
improve,
No.
something,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we got voices like Paul out there, to do things that I can't do, so we need the different voices. And I think this is where, you get this collective of, people out there inside of our space. But man, I think the big word is empathy. I think we need to have a lot more empathy for the
Mm,
people behind certain things. At least I do.
yeah.
I try to practice it. I try to look at it like, I know last night in our live stream, like I brought up breakdance. And like I have a lot of empathy for them. I know they had a rough launch, like it was wrong in so many ways. They totally blundered that.
Yeah.
But I also know that I made mistakes in my business. I made some very
Mm,
costly mistakes. It just wasn't out there in the public to see,
mhm.
you know. Wow. Okay, we're coming up on. We got 3 more minutes. Let's answer some final questions. Uh, let's see. Pentola is asking some technical questions. If you want to quickly tackle those,
Sure,
one was
maybe.
about. It's up to you. Well, it's asking if you stop using clamps. Was one question, and the other question is, what's the standard padding for a button?
Oh, okay. That's very technical. Those are not really.
Hey,
I
I
think
respect the hashtag. He followed the rules,
yeah. Okay, you
or
follow the
she followed
rules.
the rules.
Okay, okay. You know what? I will quickly tackle the button. I have an easy answer. I think minimum 12 top and bottom, left and right, 15 minimum, 30 max. Top, max top, 15, 16 maybe with a big one. That's it in pixels. You
And you
can
convert
convert
them
it
to RAM.
to RAM. Yeah, you can convert it to RAM. For buttons, I don't really do that, to be honest. Like you can go insane, but if the typography is higher, is based on RAM in the button, then the button will automatically be bigger because it's RAM. So that's fine. Not everything has to be RAM. You can go very extreme in that. Um,
You should
uh,
make a course, man. Make everything RAM. How to make everything RAM.
yeah, but
Oh man.
Clamp, I do love. I cannot live without it anymore. Actually, I'm thinking about. Yeah, no, I will not say that. But I have some ideas, and I would love to make the Clamp experience easier in builders. I know some. I know. I think I saw something in Bricks where they
Oh,
have
it's wonderful
some.
in bricks. It's so easy in
Yeah,
bricks,
so
dude.
good. You should show me. Like
Yeah.
maybe that could be another, if you're open for it, like another idea for another live stream, that you show me things that you like about bricks, because I don't have time to look at it. I think many people
Yeah,
would
that would
also
be
find it
awesome.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's just an idea. Um,
No, that's cool, man.
mm,
I actually had a plan, like, and I recorded one, like the difference, like the fundamental differences and workflows between Elementor and Bricks. It
yeah,
just didn't come out the way I wanted it to, and I never
okay,
put it out.
yeah,
It's something I wanted to. It's challenging though. I At least
yeah,
I found it challenging. I want to create more content on Bricks because I use it a lot where we're using it on client projects. I use it on my
mm,
own site.
yeah,
But it is challenging because it's a different workflow based on the tool you're using.
yeah,
So if it was just Bricks vanilla, I think okay, that's straightforward. Like I could do Elementor vanilla. That's all I use on Elementor, anyways. But Bricks is like you're either using, ACSS, core framework, your own framework with vanilla. It's got little niches in it.
It's a whole rabbit hole, and I'm not sure how deep I want to go into that because sometimes
It's an
I'm
awesome one. You could go deep, dude. Not
yeah,
come
but
out for you like, oh my god, my visa's expiring. I better get
yeah,
out.
I know,
True.
but like the thing is with those rabbit holes, people get obsessed over that, and then they get the shiny object syndrome, where they whenever there's something new, they want to test it because maybe it's a little bit better than their current workflow, and then they buy it, and then they have a lot of subscriptions, and but they could also be building more websites, and maybe it will be a little bit less of a nice workflow. But yeah, I'm all about focus. Like I don't want to know all the tools. I just want to have the best. I don't want to have the best workflow and making sure that I can deliver something really great. And
Yeah.
I see all the comments, people saying like, "Oh, why are you still using Elementor?" Like I know.
Oh man, like I go by a philosophy of master one thing at a time, master to move on to
Mm,
the next. That's how I
yeah.
built my career. I had a
Okay.
really good mentor when I
Mm,
started off, but recently I've been listening to Dan Coe a lot and even taking his courses. And his content is more for content creators. And
sorry,
he
who?
gave me a different what's that?
Dan Locke? Are you saying?
Dan Coe.
Oh, okay.
His last
Uh,
name is
okay.
Kao.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gave me a different outlook on the rabbit hole and shiny eye syndrome. Like
Okay.
the other perspective is that, being a generalist and having the shiny eye syndrome will get you knowledgeable in a lot of things. As long as you master something, you'll be knowledgeable and all of that will accumulate and you'll have even more mastery to bring to the table.
Absolutely. You have more. But it's also cost time.
Right. You see, and that's one of my other challenges living remote. You think that, okay, I'm out here in Thailand, like I would be out in the beaches and the jungles. Truth
Yeah.
is, I could go 2, 3, 4 days without leaving the house. Like,
Okay, that's too much. That's too much for me.
like just put me in my office, that's it,
Oh no,
that
I need
that
to get
that is
out.
yeah.
No, I need to get out at least one time. Sometimes when I'm inside for a day, I go a little bit crazy and I just go to the store, and then I just buy something and then I go back, because I cannot stay in the house for one day. Okay.
So we got another question, Mia.
Okay.
When do you have the pleasure to watch and listen? Oh, okay. Let me see. It got cut off.
Oh, that's she likes it. Yeah, your question box is
Yeah,
a bit too small. You should like.
it's the only size they give.
Oh, okay.
Do they let me expand it? No, they don't let me expand it.
Mhm.
Ooh, what happened? I just
But I'm
blew up the whole
also
screen.
like she's saying she's liking the live stream, which is nice.
Ah,
I'm also seeing Paul himself. He says, if your guys are up for it, let's do a Figma first live stream and bust some of those myths.
I love it. I love it. He also mentioned earlier too. A really good point is that having kits and things to speed up the process really help out. Like, have you been using Reloom?
Oh yes,
Oh
I
my
love
goodness,
Relum. I love
it's
it.
phenomenal, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. I'm
God,
actually teaching it in my course to use it.
yeah, it's a
Yeah,
must-have. It
yeah,
definitely is. It's
yeah.
just one of those tools. And then, have you tried the new Sprout UI kit?
No, but I've watched your videos on it.
It's awesome, dude.
It's awesome. Yeah,
I was like, wow, all
yeah,
that for free. It's like better than most of the ones I pay for, man. So
yeah. I'm actually had a meeting with the owner of that plugin on
Sagar,
WordCamp.
yeah, Sagar,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
and he showed me the some of the things they're working on, and I am still in contact with him. They also are the team behind Figma to Elementor UI Chemi, if I say
Yeah,
it correctly.
yeah, and
I
the
think,
plus add-ons too.
Oh, plus add-ons, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're doing great work, and I'm also thinking about how to implement it in a way. I think you made a great video about it, showing the different um, things that are inside. Personally, if you ask me about kids, it's also a little bit the same with like my vision on tools. It can easily become too much and overwhelming, because if you don't have a framework on how to choose which section to use, then it's just gonna overwhelm you, because there are like, even for, what was it, a contact page or an about page, there are like 30 options. So which a kit is only valuable if you know what to pick,
Mm-hmm.
because otherwise it's just another inspiration website that or kids, whatever, where you watch it. It's just another form of noise, and we have so much noise in our modern lives with the computer and the phones. So I think everyone should put in effort to reduce that noise, and if you don't know how to use a kit like that, then it's just noise.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to start learning the web design process, like the whole
Yes,
process. So
and
that
that's why
way
you
when
should
you do
buy
get a tool, yeah. Oh.
that's why you should buy my and his course.
Elementor Design with Elementor 2.0 coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh,
Shameless plug.
nice, nice. Now it's your channel.
I'm
I
in the
mean,
course. Yeah, yeah, man. Dude, it's intense building a course, isn't it?
oh,
It's
it's
so
it's
much.
it's the biggest. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's bigger
it's not
than any
easy.
website that I've done. It is more
Oh,
intense than
much
any
bigger,
website that I build.
much bigger. Yeah,
Yeah. But it's so rewarding, man.
yeah, the responses
Nice.
and
Yeah.
how, I mean, some, not everybody believes it, but the reviews that I have on my website, they are real. Like, some people
Yeah.
have literally said like, I got my job promoted after I watched this course, or I was able to sell a lot more websites, and therefore I could buy this, or I could give this to my kids, or somebody just changed their whole career based on that course. Like, it's insane. Like, I did not know that you could have such a big effect on people's lives being a content creator. So just only the passion that I feel for my own videos is already nice, but that effect that we have, we even on each other. Like, I get inspired by your videos, and like you also say that for me. It's just like, it's just great. It's just an explosion of inspiration.
Man, this week I was I'm getting ready to launch the new Lytbox Academy site. And I created the testimonials, the custom post type, and I just
Mm.
did a session where I uploaded all of them. Like I had it, I stopped and I went out and I just like told my girl, I'm like tearing up and just like
Yeah,
like it just hits right here.
yeah,
And yeah, there's this it's just I'm speechless right now, It's
yeah. It's beautiful.
yeah, it is. It is.
I think this is a great ending point, don't you think?
I think so. I think so. Reno, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
I knew the energy was going to be awesome. You're such a good guy, dude. And yeah, I hope that we could do this again soon. Really soon. Definitely, man. Before we leave, do you have anything you want to share? Anything that let's see. If you guys don't know Reno, which I'm pretty sure everybody here already does, just in case you've been under a rock, go over to go over. So sorry. See, this is what happens when it gets late. I start putting my foot in my mouth. The filter goes, all right, be professional. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's funny.
Yeah, just let us know how to find you.
Okay.
Everything like that.
Okay. Yeah. So I am on YouTube under my own name now. My channel before was called Living with Pixels. That's still the website that I have, livingwithpixels.com. That's where my courses are. That's more like the community. And my own channel is called Rino de Boer, or Rino de Boer, if you say it in an American way.
Is that how I sound?
Yeah, you can just find me in that way. I would like to say, I also try to make quite a bit of Instagram stories lately, like showing my process, showing behind the scenes. So many people know my YouTube channel, but not a lot know that I also post quite a bit on Instagram stories. So not just the posts, but the stories. So make sure to follow me if you're interested in my type of life at Rino de Boer. And yeah, I hope we can do this more often. And also TikTok. I like to make TikTok sometimes.
Ah.
Are you on TikTok?
Nope, don't got it.
Okay. I like to make
Yeah.
TikTok sometimes. So.
No, that's cool, man. That's cool. And everybody that has been here this whole time, thank you so much. This has been awesome. I mean, 238 comments. We still have 53 people watching right now. I'm just so thankful for all of you for being here. And I'm terrible at goodbyes. I got to learn how to do them a lot
Okay.
better. But yeah, we'll be back again soon. But thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Reno.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good time to go to bed now. So
Absolutely. It's
cheers.
almost 10 here. And at it's already, what is it?
It's coming up tonight. We're just an hour,
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in bed after this. So
Awesome, man. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. You guys all have a good day, night, morning, and we'll see you all soon.
yes, see you in the next one.